I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Finding a place to call your own where lifelong friends can be made, where you can make a difference, is closer than you may think. The University of Michigan's largest student-run org is blending the community with the campus.
DMUM stands for Dance Marathon at the University of Michigan.
There's something bigger than yourselves, right? It's a cause that is going to resonate with everyone here within Ann Arbor. If you have a sick child, we have one of the best children's hospitals in the universe in our backyard. Why would you want to go anywhere else? We have a pediatric-only ER. We have wonderful doctors and nurses and staff and therapists that are in there on a daily basis. If you have an opportunity to give to these students, to help these students help our little victors, I can't think of a better cause, honestly.
This organization is absolutely incredible. They are with us volunteering, and as we are offering our enrichment programs in a virtual setting, the Dance Marathon, they are on the Zoom calls with us, they're volunteering with us, and the kids love to see them and they look forward to seeing them at these therapies like martial arts and yoga and many other ones that we offer.
We have a lot of participation, partially because we're able to partner with Mott Children's Hospital to have very close personal relationships with the kids that we volunteer with.
These students behind us, the students of DMUM, they're doing a tremendous job to support those families that are not just there for a night, but are there for a week, a month, or 3 months at a time.
It's so meaningful to watch the kiddos participate in these adaptive and inclusive programs that are unique to Michigan Medicine, pediatric rehab team, not necessarily found in the community, and we really like to emphasize that we are providing something unique with the support of Dance Marathon.
For more, visit dmum.org. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. Public art attracts the eyes, makes people think and react, and now the Ann Arbor Art Center is trying to make the city an art destination. Take a look at this sight to see on Liberty Street.
The Cupcake Station is now a treat for the eyes as a mural by Jesse Castle stands tall on the building's facade.
This project came to be through the Ann Arbor Art Center, working with local developer Ed Shafran on producing a mural on this property.
When he looked at Jesse's work, right away he connected with it. He liked the color, he liked the way the compositions that Jesse put together. So we let him drive that. He said, I would really like to interpret what people maybe 50 years ago would have seen and loved about Ann Arbor. What would that look like in a contemporary format today? So that was the conversation he and Jesse had. So that's what this is.
From what I gathered, that this is the old Pretzel Bell building, so that is, you know, a big statement right in front with the pretzel and the bell. There's also a lot of elements like the waves and the kayak here are references to the rivers and, you know, outdoor activities. A bunch of different elements. Some of it is just sort of like abstract, just to help the composition.
It's fun when you can really look at something for a long time and keep seeing something new. And then you talk to people about it and everybody interprets what they see differently. So it's a great conversation starter, and it's super lively and gets people to look at it from this side of town.
In today's technology-riddled world, it's easy to get distracted from your task at hand. But when you're driving, your concentration should be on the road and not on your device, even more so with the potential for snow and ice. Learn more about distracted driving in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Bill Clock, the Edinburgh Police Special Services Section. I'm here to talk a little bit about distracted driving. Texting while driving does increase your stopping distance, so it's going to actually take you a whole lot longer to stop. Nationally, in 2016, there was 3,500 people killed in distracted driving collisions. And in 2016, here in Michigan alone, there's 43 fatalities and about 13,000 traffic crashes resulting from distracted driving incidents. Michigan Vehicle Code does prohibit sending a text message, reading a text message, or manually typing a text message. So please keep your eyes on the road, put the cell phone down, and be safe out there.
The giving season is upon us, and while you're purchasing thoughtful gifts for the ones you love the most, consider sending some warmth to those in need of it most. Joining me is Michelle Garr, founder of Slippers for Mom. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you.
First, I would like to know your story, how this organization came about. It's really unique.
Yeah, sure. So in 2013, my mom unfortunately passed away from ovarian cancer. She was only 56. So that was in May. So in December, I was really struggling with not having that pair of slippers to buy for her, because that was kind of our annual tradition with her. So I reached out to a friend that I worked with, and she said, why don't you just start like a small foundation and just give slippers away? So that first year in 2013, I gave away 55 pairs of slippers to 2 shelters. And since then, I've grown into a 501c3 nonprofit. We donate between 500 to 1,000 slippers every kind of holiday season. And it's really just been a way to help deal with my own grief, but then also really give back to the community and see the tremendous work that the shelters and various organizations are doing to support people.
I'd like to know a little bit more about your mom, Mary Ann, because this is really dedicated. This is like a love story to her. So tell us about how she was as a mom, obviously, but then like her story of like, I know it can be really hard to lose someone and not have them there for the holidays. Those times are really, really hard because that is a time where you just like share the love and the family.
Yeah. So my mom was a really hard worker. She worked in finance. She was still working for the Mars agency, and they have supported me every year with slippers. So a little shout out to them. So she worked in finance. She had 4 kids. I'm the oldest of 4. And when she passed, it was very quick. Unfortunately, ovarian cancer doesn't have a high survival rate. And she was really looking forward to being a grandma. So that was kind of the next phase of her life.
So she didn't have a chance yet. She wasn't a grandmother yet.
She had a little bit of a chance. At that time, let me not get this wrong. She had 3 grandchildren. Now she has 8.
Wow.
Yeah. So between my brother and my sisters and I, we have 8 kids. And so she missed out on that. So to me, when I'm giving to shelters where young moms and their kids are at, like First Step and Wayne, I feel connected back to her to say, gosh, she would just love this. Here's moms that are working hard to get on the right path for their children, and they have their kids with them in a shelter during the holidays. So I always just think of her and connect back to how hard she worked for us and how fortunate we were in giving back to those who are really less fortunate than us.
I know this is one of my questions. And I mean, we don't know what happens after someone passes, but you think about like, how would your mom feel if she knew what you were doing? And I think she'd be really proud of what you were doing and all that you were accomplishing in her name. And I know I personally still have my mom, and I can't imagine like what that phase in my life will be like, but I'm sure that is a really devastating loss. And to have something like this to keep her memory alive has to be such an amazing feeling.
It really is. I was 35 when my mom passed away, and it's really a young age. And I was a new mom. So I had young kids. And then I went on to have more kids after she was passed. And, my siblings, one of my siblings graduated from college, another one got married, and she wasn't around for any of that. So we really do try to keep her spirit alive. And although it is sad, we know that we're honoring her memory, and we've expanded it so much to really hopefully just touch people with a warm gift during the holidays. One of the organizations we donate to is Covenant House in Detroit, and they're an organization for young homeless, like teenagers. And one of the women that I work with there said, this is sometimes the first gift any of these kids have ever received.
Wow.
When they told me that a couple years ago, I was like, man, our Christmas tree was filled with gifts. And so, so I just, again, I think back to my mom and how hard she worked, and I think she would really be proud of the work that we're doing.
Yeah, it is really just like, it's very touching, honestly. And to hear that story about like, this is the first gift, and I think about my own Christmas tree and what I do for my daughter. And it's like this magical moment. And it makes you sad that these kids don't get those magical moments often enough in their lives.
Absolutely.
So how do people donate? Can you donate money? Do you have to donate slippers?
Sure. So a couple different ways to donate. So my website is really easy. It's slippersformom.org. I'm also on Facebook at Slippers for Mom. So really easy to find me. I have a donation link on Facebook that's open all the time. So that's an easy and kind of free way to donate. I don't get charged any processing fees. On my website, I have a link to PayPal. So you can also donate through my business 501c3 through PayPal. And I also accept Venmo payments. Some people, a lot of my friends and family, like, I'm just going to Venmo you.
Oh, it's so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's really a multitude of ways, but I would say go to slippersformom.org. I have a donate tab right at the top, and it's all the information is listed there.
I also like when you go on the website that you're like, you're not asking for these huge donations. Obviously you would take a big donation if someone wanted to give it, but you're like, $10, $20, something that's reasonable for a lot of people.
Yeah. Micro fundraising has become really popular lately, like the power of the collective group. If everybody gives $5, look what impact we can make. And that's kind of what I did unintentionally a couple years ago was, hey, give $10. It buys one pair of slippers. And then I kind of said, hey, I have 2 kids, so I'm going to donate $20 to represent my 2 kids. So I don't need somebody to give me $1,000, but 10, 20, so I can buy a couple pairs of slippers. I have been fortunate. I do reach out to local organizations. So Meijer, Walmart, Target, and they have a lot of community grants that you can apply for. And this year I did get a $500 donation from the local Meijer. So to me, that's 50 pairs of slippers that I can buy. So, every little bit helps. Again, my goal every year is between 700 to 1,000 pairs of slippers that I'd like to donate.
And you can also buy the slippers, right? There's like criteria that you have though when people purchase the slippers.
Yeah, you sure can. So the shelters actually prefer the hard sole slippers because again, they're in a shelter, they're in an environment where they like that stability versus like a slipper sock. Now, I still get donations of slipper socks and I still send those to organizations that can need them. But really, I prefer a hard sole slipper. All sizes for women. Women medium and large are my most popular. I do have a lot of men's slippers that I need, and it's really for the young men that live in the shelters with their moms, or like I told you, Covenant House, which is for, teenagers. Kid slippers, I don't need hard sole. There's so many fun kid slippers, and those go to organizations like First Step, where we have a lot of young children that live with their moms at the shelter.
Mm-hmm. How do you decide on these organizations? You go on the website, you can see the list of organizations that are getting slipper donations from you. How do you, get a relationship with these organizations and figure out that they're the right ones?
Yeah, so I've worked a lot this is my 9th year doing this. So like I said, I started very small. I work a lot to kind of make a connection with them. What is their need? And I also tie it back to my mom. What would she say? Would she how would she feel about this as the organization we're supporting? So we kind of support a wide range. We support, women's shelters where there's abuse. We support teenagers that are homeless. I also give slippers for Ronald McDonald House of Detroit, and those are used for the families staying at the house, during the holidays. So I really just try to build a relationship. Is it useful to them? Can they use it? We've also added a couple foster care organizations. Again, kids that are without parents. So I really just try to build a relationship, and if it's valuable to them, and I haven't found one organization that's turned me down. If anything, I'm like, oh, I need to raise more money and get more donations to support you. So
is there a good time of year to donate? I know you like to get your slippers out by a certain time in December. So can you donate all year this time of year? Or do you like to get your donations a little earlier?
So this is the best time of the year to donate slippers. One, because you can find them in the stores and you can find them on sale. So typically in November through December, you can find slippers for $10 a pair, right? I mean, anywhere you go, Target, Meijer, Walmart.
I also like that you tell people where to find deals on slippers.
Yeah.
You're like, go to Kohl's. They got
Yeah.
great deals, you know?
Kohl's is my #1 supplier. I buy a ton from Kohl's because then I get Kohl's cash and then I buy more slippers using my Kohl's cash. So this is the best time of the year, but people can donate all year. I have a whole kind of warehouse of slippers in my basement. I shop all year when I see stuff on clearance, like in February or March, because I want to get flip-flops out. So I will buy like a huge load of slippers and put them in my basement. Last year was the first year I did a Mother's Day donation to an organization in Flint. And I'm going to try to do that every year, just pick one organization and do a Mother's Day slipper donation. But really, this is the best time of the year for me.
I like the Mother's Day idea, though, because it's all about your mom. And so it's another way to just honor her. And I'm sure you do miss her on Mother's Day. I'm sure that's one of those hard holidays, too, to not have your mom around.
For sure. For sure.
So before we go, why should people choose to donate to Slippers for Mom? I know, like I said, a lot of the reason is that it doesn't cost a lot of money and you're doing something great for people, honestly.
It doesn't cost a lot of money. And it's something really impactful if you're living in a shelter. Most people come to a shelter with a pair of shoes, maybe a pair of boots if they're lucky. But when they're there, all they have is socks. And if you've ever been in a shelter, most of them, I mean, they're very nice, but it's not the comfort that we're used to of our home with nice plush carpet and blankets. And most of them have a community area and then they have a room where they live. So it's a unique gift and it doesn't cost a lot of money. And I'll tell you, every shelter and organization that I've donated to in the last 9 years are like, they just absolutely love it. They actually email me starting like September, October. Are you still doing it this year? Are we still doing slippers? So, and it's just helping me honor the memory of my mom, which is why it all started.
Well, thank you so much for sharing about your wonderful organization with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching and tune in next time to FYI.